All right, so our blog posts are ready to go. We want to actually make sure that our users are able to view our blog on our website. So what we're going to do is navigate over to our website by clicking on View Your Website on the top left-hand side. And we don't have anything on our page yet, so let's just go ahead and quickly add a template. I'm just going to select this one and apply it to the page, replace my content and styles. And then I'm going to add a new page because this is just our home page. We want to create a dedicated blog page. So to do that, I'm going to come here to my navigator and I'm going to quickly add a new page and I'm going to call this one blog. All right, I'm going to make sure it is published and I'm going to hit save. All right, so we've got that blog. Now I want to navigate to that blog page. I'm just going to scroll and there we go. So all of this, I know I'm doing it quite quickly, but please do go and watch our page designer playlist so that you can understand exactly what I'm doing in the page designer here. So let's go ahead and create a new page. And for this one, I'm going to click in here and I'm just going to use the About Us section and I'm going to apply that to our current page, replace the content and styles and hit save. I didn't actually need to replace the styles. I actually didn't want to replace the styles, but it's fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and delete these blocks. So I've got a ton of them, so I'm just going to right click on each of these and delete them quickly. I didn't want to delete that block, so I'm actually just going to come to my history. Undo. All right, we want that top block. We don't want the rest. So I'm going to delete the rest of these quickly. There we go. And then I suppose we can leave the footer as well. So this I'm going to change to say blog. And now I want to add an empty block. So I'm adding a block. I'm going to delete the right-hand one. And now the important part, adding our blog content component. So let's go ahead and search for blog. And here I want to go ahead and add the blog posts content option. So we're going to add that. And you'll see that that then adds all of those blogs that we created to our page. So there are a number of things that we can do to customize the way this looks. So let's have a look at our blog post settings on the right hand side. So the first thing that we can do is select what categories we would like to be visible. So you can choose any of those parent categories to be visible. So if we choose just dog training, then all of the articles that have been categorized into our dog training category are going to show up. If we, for example, choose new dog owners, then the same thing. If we choose the dog accessories, same thing, health and well-being, but you can see that you can select all or multiple or none. So we're going to go ahead and select all of them because I do want all of my blog posts to be visible. Now, what might be helpful in this scenario is if you want to create multiple pages for your blogs that have navigations to different collections of blog posts, for example. All right, so then you can choose your page size. So this is how many blog posts per page you would like to show. So currently it is set to 10. To give you an example, I could set this to 3 and now only 3 posts at a time are going to show up. And we've got our little navigation arrows down at the bottom. So let's go ahead and set that back to 10. All right, then you can choose your layout settings. We have columns and you can choose how many columns you would like it to be. So if it's 4, then 4 posts are going to appear next to each other, or you can turn it down to 1 so that your blogs look like that. Whatever looks good to you. I'm going to go ahead and say 3. You can then also choose your layout. So we have masonry style, which is this mismatched collection. So it looks a bit Pinteresty. We can go ahead and change that to be a grid. And that means that all of our posts are going to be exactly even. They're going to take up exactly the same amount of space as each other on the screen. But I do kind of prefer the masonry look. I think it's just a little bit more homey. And then we've got our gap settings. So you can choose how much space you want between your blog posts here. So you can make it 0 and have them all squished together, or you can have it nice and even. So I think it looked quite nice before, so we're just going to put it back to 20. All right, then we've got our styles. So we can go ahead and change the way this looks entirely. So we can change the style of our post. We can give it a background and we can go ahead and edit the border. So we can go and make that something else. And we can make it very thick if we want. I didn't change the color for some reason. There we go. Oh, I didn't change it at all. Okay, there we go. All right. And you can change the style of that border as well. You can go ahead and change the padding around it. So we can go and I'm making it absolutely terrible, but you know, this is just for the example. All right, then you can add drop shadows as well. So you can do whatever you want and make this look however you want. I've made it look atrocious, but that's okay. You can also go ahead and change the image orientation. So you can have the image above the post or next to the post or on the other side. You can also change the size of the image. So let's just go ahead. It's currently set to the original size, but you can change it to any size you want. And we can go ahead and change like the width to be a specific size, or we can change the height to be a specific size, or we can create a custom size. And then you can go ahead and change the way it looks entirely as well. All right. Then we have our post info. We can edit our text styles. So I'm not going to go through all of the settings of this, but this is just going to customize the way that your text looks. So you can change the style to be italic, for example, and let's just make it normal again. This is also just for the post info, so it's just this section over here. So you can go ahead and play around with that as much as you want. Then you can change the title, so you can edit this. You can make it a heading 1 heading or a heading 4 heading. Let's just make it a heading 2 heading again, because I think that looks the best. So you can play around with these styles and customize it to your heart's content. There is a lot that you can do here, but generally speaking, you'd like to keep it on brand. All right, you can also edit the excerpt style, so you can set the limit. So we can say that that is only going to show 20 characters, and you can edit, of course, the text style. But let's go ahead and make that. I don't remember what it was, but you can leave it to be a decent amount of text in those excerpts. All right, and then we've got our read more button. So here we can go ahead and customize this. We can go ahead and make it centered, and we can make it a large button, for example. You can also change what it actually says. So instead of saying read more, you can change that to say just more, for example. And you can make the corners rounded, or you can create your own unique corners. So you can give it, let's say the top left corner is very rounded and the bottom right corner is very rounded, and then you've got a button like that. And you can go ahead and edit the borders, the backgrounds, and shadows for the buttons as well. So again, this is all just visual customization that you can do on your blog. Hopefully you make something that looks a little prettier than what I've done here. And then you've got your sizing. So this is just how much space this module is going to take up on your page. So you can choose if it is going to be across the whole page, if it's going to take up a smaller amount of page. Same goes for the margin and your visibility. So those are all of the blog post settings and how you can go ahead and customize the way your blog post looks. Well, your blog posts look. But this isn't the end of our customization features, because if I hit preview and I enter into one of my blog posts, I can customize the way this page looks as well. So if I come out of this and I click into my blog header settings, I can go ahead and change a few things. I can say that I want the heading to be below the image, and then you'll see my heading over there, or I can change it to be over the image and you'll see it over there. I can also go ahead and edit that text so that it looks a little bit different. So I can go ahead and make it a heading 1, for example, and I can change the style to be italic and whatever else I want to do. I can also change the way my post info appears. So again, customizing the styles. Another thing I can do is go ahead and edit this image, so I can make it a custom style, And I think that looks a little bit better than what it did previously because it was taking up the whole page. But you can go ahead and change how much space or how big you want that to be. You can change the positioning, so you can have it centered, you can have it center top. I'm obviously not changing very much because the picture is just taking up the entirety of the space. So I'm just going to leave that as is. You can change if it is going to contain the image like this, or if it is going to fill it, which is just going to stretch it to that space. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as a cover image. You can then also add an overlay. This is particularly helpful if you do want the heading text to be across the image. So we can go ahead and edit our overlay here and make it look however we want it to look. Again, we can change the sizing, the space, and the visibility. So those are all of the blog header settings. So you can customize that to your heart's content. Now, the thing is, when you customize one blog post, these settings are going to be applied to all of your blog posts. So you don't need to go into each and every single one of your blog posts and customize the way they look. Any changes you make here is going to apply to all of your blog posts. All right, so once you are happy with the way your blog header looks, you can come and edit your blog content. So this is going to be the same thing. So here you're going to be able to change the sizing, spacing, animation, and visibility settings. So generally your blog content, you are going to edit and customize that when actually creating the blog post itself. All right, then you'll notice that we have our side panel over here, and here we can go ahead and add whatever we want to add here. So maybe we want to have an opt-in form. So let's go ahead and add an opt-in form over here. We're going to ask for their first name and email, and then they're going to fill that in if they want to. We can also go ahead and add maybe an image of our current promotion that we've got going, so they can check out whatever it is that we're promoting here. And if there is anything else we want to add over here, I'm not sure what else you might want to add here. Maybe let's have a look for social icons. All right, so we can add some social icons there as well. And there you go. So we've customized that sidebar. We can also move that sidebar to wherever we want. I don't really like that, so I am just going to undo that, leave it there. Or if you don't want a sidebar at all, you can go ahead and delete it entirely. But I kind of do want that sidebar, so again, I'm just going to undo that change. And once I'm happy with all of the changes that I've made, then we can go ahead and hit publish. But we can also, again, customize the comments section here. So again, you can come in, go through all of the customization settings. And again, all of these customization settings are the same. So I would suggest just going through these, playing around with it until you've created something that you're happy with and that matches your brand. So once you're happy with everything, go ahead and hit publish. You're going to publish all of those changes. And now when you go back to your blog posts, so let's just go to preview mode and go to our blogs, and I customized this one just to show you. I'm going to go into this one and you'll see the changes are all applied to this blog post as well. So that is how you create the front-facing blog and how you can customize and design it to match your brand. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to manage and moderate blog comments. I'll see you there.